What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Command Point. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about something a little bit differently from our usual content. As most of you guys know out there, we are almost exclusively, pretty much exclusively like a kill team channel. But months ago, Games Workshop was kind enough to send out to us the Legions Imperialis starter set for us to do a review on. And unfortunately, due to stuff that we had going on at that time, we were unable to get a video done in that time in order for us to upload that release weekend or prior to that release weekend to preview for you guys, basically. And I'm sorry about that. But we were finally able to, I should say I was able to finally get some of the models in the core box built, and I was able to go and actually get in a game of Legions Imperialis this week. I didn't want to sit in front of this camera having zero experience playing the game before starting to talk about it again. The game I played, it was the opening maneuvers mission, which you can download for free from the Games Workshop website. Or the Warhammer community website, excuse me. My opponent and I, we played it a little bit differently. Instead of using the detachment that is included in that mission, or the formation that's included in that mission, I should say, we went ahead and we just built our own roughly 500-point armies and played them against each other. He played Ultramarines, I played Solar Auxilia, and I was able to take home the dub that day. At like 500 points when you're running 4 Lehman Russes, it's pretty alarming how good and how tanky those tanks are. Anyways, how do I like Legions Imperialis? I like it a lot. I like it a lot more than I initially thought I would. And I find myself wanting to go out and buy models for it. The unfortunate part is right now, as of this recording, we're in mid-February right now, I think, of 2024. Very limited selection of models that you can get. My local game store, when Legions Imperialis came out, basically sold out of everything within 48 hours. I've been checking the website the past few days now, and the only 2 things that I saw come back in stock that I was interested in were the Bane Blades and potentially more of the Space Marine infantry. It's very hard to get Titans. It's very hard to get a lot of stuff. Rhinos. Oh my gosh, you need Rhinos if you're running Space Marines, I feel. So having them be out of stock literally since this game has released is very frustrating. Aside from GW's stock level issues, 3 things that I very much like about Legions Imperialis. First and foremost, I do enjoy the epic scale. It allows you and your friends to basically recreate these massive scale battles that are described in the Horus Heresy series of novels that you otherwise cannot do in games of Horus Heresy or Warhammer 40k. The second thing I like about Legions Imperialis is I really do enjoy the flow of the game. What I mean by that is, I guess, the way that the turn order is structured. This is a alternating activation game, which very similar to Kill Team. There are 6 different orders that you secretly assign to each one of your detachments. At the top of the round, you and your opponent both reveal them simultaneously, and then you guys basically just start activating models. There are a few different phases to the game. You start with your movement, and then you go into combat, and then you go into your shooting. There is the first fire order, but I don't want to delve too deep into the rules right now. Maybe if you guys are interested in that in the future, let me know, leave a comment down below, like the video, do all the stuff to let me know that you want more Legions Imperialis content if you guys are interested in that sort of thing. But yeah, the scale that you can reach with this game I think is very, very cool. The third thing that I like a lot about this game is the army building, and I mean the way in which you construct your army lists, as well as literally building and painting your armies. Compared to a lot of other miniatures out there, getting the minis in this game painted up to battle ready is a breeze. It's a breeze. I feel relaxed when I am painting up these minis because they're so small. It's like, who cares how highly detailed they are when they're that tiny? You know, unless you're painting for Instagram, it's like, I don't feel bad putting on 3 colors onto mini: gun, shoulder pads, and then like silver armor suit on my Solar Auxilia infantry. Those are the 3 colors I'm using. So, you know, I mean, hey, they're fun. I'm having fun painting them up. It doesn't feel like a slog for me. Those are my 3 favorite things about the game. You know, like I've said, I've only played 1 game of it so far, so I don't want to go ahead and dive too deep into it. But I am excited for the Great Slaughter book that is going to be coming out very soon. I'm also excited for these guys here, the Legiones Astartes support box and the Solar Auxilia support box. So these guys, they both have rules in the core rulebook already for Legions Imperialis. Needless to say, I'm excited to get them built and have them augment my Solar Auxilia and my Sons of Horus. Let me tell you guys a little bit about the Great Slaughter book that's going to be coming out. I think it's like 3 or 4 parts that are in this book. The first is kind of like the lore and the history of the battle for Beta Garmin. The other sections are talking about, there's new detachments for both Solar Auxilia and for the Legiones Astartes. Neither of which I really want to get into. I will tell you guys that for the Legiones Astartes, there's one that focuses on jet bikes and land speeders and stuff like that, which is cool if you're like, you know, if you like White Scars or like Blood Angels, you know, stuff that wants to go fast. The only problem is that it is a detachment that is almost made up entirely of models that you literally cannot buy from Games Workshop right now. The other detachment that faces that same issue is the Drop Pod Assault. That one is really cool because it's like, hey, put all of your units in drop pods and then boom, 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 boom. You know, Helldivers 2, baby. But once again, you know, there's no drop pods for you to buy right now, so it's kind of like a mute point to be releasing rules for these detachments when people literally cannot buy the product. It's very frustrating for me because I want a drop pod assault. I want to throw everybody in a drop pod, drop them out of the sky, and then they burst out and then they get in close combat. You know, I want that. I want it bad. But there's no drop pods to buy yet. The other detachment I saw in there that really caught my eye was the Solar Auxilia Artillery detachment. That one looks pretty cool. You know, you can just spam artillery pieces. Once again, unfortunately, it is mostly units that are not available for sale yet. But hopefully, you know, hopefully those units will be available for sale soon. Probably the biggest, I guess, part of this book, I would argue, would be the Titan Death rules. Titan Death, I guess, is very different from Adeptus Titanicus. You'll have to forgive me. I've never played that game system. I know very little about it. But it sounds cool to me in that you can field a bunch of Titans and, you know, get a game completed reasonably quickly compared to Adeptus Titanicus. I guess that game takes a long time to play. Like I said, I've never played it, but you know, the idea of playing basically Adeptus Titanicus, but with Legions Imperialis rules, sounds cool. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm an expert with this new rule set. Instead, I'm gonna tell you guys to go check out the Warhammer community article, all about the rules for Titan Death, where it goes into a bit more detail about it. But yeah, I am looking forward to that release. Like I said, Games Workshop, they sent me a PDF copy of that book, but I'm going to be certainly buying that book. And I think it's really cool that the Great Slaughter book is coming out alongside the Battle for Beta Garmin Horus Heresy book. I think that's really cool in that, if you really invest into this, it's kind of like you can play those epic scale battles that you can only play in Legions Imperialis, but then you can focus down to those more character focused battles that you get in the Horus Heresy, and you kind of can play out this whole campaign. That's the other thing. There's rules for running a Horus Heresy narrative campaign in the Great Slaughter book, and there is also a specific campaign for the second battle for Nikon City? Sorry, I guess I'm not up to snuff on my lore. I was just looking at the PDF not too long ago. I don't have it in front of me. But yeah, no, it's very cool. All the lore and the history in this book melded with all of like the new, the new Titan Death game mode, along with the new detachments, along with the rules for playing out campaigns and stuff. It's inspired me to want to reach out to other people in my community and see if they want to potentially like play a campaign of Legions Imperialis. Yeah, I'm just loving getting into Legions Imperialis right now, and if you guys are if you're able to find the product out there, I can recommend it as well. I think you'll have a good time playing it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I know it kind of probably must have felt disjointed and kind of rambling, but that's just where I'm at right now with this game. I've only played one game of it, and I like it a lot, and I want to play more of it, and I want to build more models for it. So all around, I'm having a great time with this game. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all again in the next one.